was gonna say that. Did she have any questions?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was like,
"Are you sure?"
Well, no, she immediately saw the picture and she was like, "You were Amazoning at night again, weren't you?"
Oh yeah.
Hey, welcome back to Too Hard, Too Fast, the podcast with strong opinions about things that we may or may not know too much about. In order to broaden perspectives, my perspective is definitely getting broadened because I love the Olympics, and I felt like I knew a lot about the Olympics. I didn't know shit. Don't know anything. Thanks to Nina Cutro-Kelly. She's, telling us her experience. So let's just get into it, right? Why waste any more time? Let's learn more about the Olympics through Nina Cutro-Kelly's experience and perspective. So sit back, buckle up. Let's go too hard, too fast. Huh.
Hell yeah.
Welcome back.
Welcome to Too Hard, Too Fast.
Too hard, too fast.
Too hard, too fast.
Too hard, too fast.
Welcome to Too Hard, Too Fast.
Welcome back to Too Hard, Too Fast. And my name is Nina Cutro-Kelly. I'm a 2021 Judo Olympian, and I'm happy to be here. Go Team USA.
Nice.
USA.
The podcast of the century.
So, Olympics. I know you're on a time crunch, so I want to get into the Olympics.
No problem.
I was texting you and I told you that there was some bad news with the judo shirt. I really love yours. You got the USA and the emblem. So I ordered the judo logo, and I was like super excited. It was gonna have your face on it.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow it just didn't ship. It did not ship at all. And
are you talking the one through USA Judo?
Yes.
Oh man, that is weird. I don't know anything about that, but you really should talk to them because I had no connection to that.
No, he got scammed. He got scammed. That's what it was. Dude, you just lost your money.
No, I'm not like asking you, hey, send me a shirt.
No, but I mean, because like that, I think you're the only person I've spoken to that bought one of those. They all bought, like, I had my own one that had me throwing on it that I had online for a bit.
I would have bought one off of you if you.
I can send you the link for that. That's not a problem. But the USA Judo one, I never heard anything else about it except that you asked about it. So what happened? Tell me.
So it was the one with I think four of you, the four of you, and it just didn't show up. So I didn't. It was kind of like in the back of my mind. I was like, man, it's not gonna get here, and then she's gonna come on, and then she's gonna think I didn't buy it after I talked to her about it. And then I was literally yesterday telling my wife, I was like, oh, well, I'll just wear the hockey one and hopefully it's not weird. And then it's like, and then she goes, well, why don't you at least ask for your money back? I was like, it doesn't matter. It went for a good cause. But in the long, it's okay if I didn't get the shirt. And then I jokingly said, imagine we're sitting on the podcast and I get the link or the email that says it's been shipped. And literally like 5 minutes from that, I get an email that says your shirt has shipped. Here's the tracking number. So it's on its way. It's on its way.
Oh, good. I'm glad. You're the only person.
So we got to have you on again.
One. Yeah, basically. No, for sure. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're going to get it because I honestly, USA Judo did that for us. It was very nice of them, but we just had to approve the picture they put on it. So I have no idea how it works. And they're notorious for being slow. So, yeah. So I probably should have warned you about that when you ordered it. So.
No, it's all right. I mean, it's coming. I was just happy that the money was going, because obviously, we know that Olympians, you guys don't necessarily get paid for going.
No, we get stipends and we've
been lied to this whole time, Wormsers.
We get a little bit, right? Yeah, but it's nothing. I mean, we all still have to have jobs or independent sponsors, so they will pay for a fair bit of our travel and stuff like that. So we don't have to often have to go and fundraise to get somewhere, and once in a while it'll happen. Funding will fall through, or because we have a limited budget. It's a small sport, but the four of us that made the Olympic team, we were on stipends for most of the quad. So that did help a little bit. It's by no means enough to deal with everything, but it does help. Yeah.
Is that the same? Is it just because it's Team USA, or like do other countries get stipends, or?
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah.
Totally different.
Oh yeah, no. So this is through the Olympic Committee. So it's the U.S. Olympic Committee, the USOC, that they fund a certain number of us international athletes. I mean, the other countries, they're professional. Like it's like they don't work. If they go to school, it's very limited. Their whole job is to compete. Yeah.
Nice. I did not know that at all. So that's a.
Yeah, I mean, it's, not all countries, but like the countries who are successful, they have professional athletes.
So the ones that are placing gold medals, the ones that count, you're saying?
Yeah, the medals, exactly. Yeah, no. The people who are consistently successful are professional. Yeah.
And you guys have, like, let's say if Gatorade wants to sponsor Nina Cutro-Kelly, are you able to get sponsorships? Is there any contracts that you're not allowed to take?
So the only thing that's limited is we can't advertise for companies that sponsor us at the games or in connection to like trademarks logos from the games. So like, for example, there's a CBD company that hooks me up here and they give me some money periodically and, free product. And there's a couple, supplement companies that do the same. And I couldn't wear their stuff at the Olympics. I had to wear like Team USA only. And I couldn't advertise like on my social media as an Olympian with these products until after this like blackout window was over. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're pretty strict. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Was that your first time going to Japan?
No, it was like the fourth time because Judo was invented in Japan. And so I was there in 2010. I was there in 2014 for the Sambo World Championships. And Sambo is like a little cousin sport to Judo. It's a Russian version of Judo pretty much. And you sometimes see a lot of Sambo guys in MMA maybe. So I went there for the Sambo World Championships in 2014, got a bronze medal. So that was pretty cool. And then the Judo World Championships were there in, I want to say 2019. And then we had the lockdown. So that was my fourth trip to Japan. Yeah.
Fair enough. And so you can say 2019 because this is Too Hard, Too Fast and we don't check facts.
Okay.
We won't check.
Okay.
Hey,
all right.
How was it without an audience though? Was it awkward? Did you not I mean, I would imagine you just don't get the same rush, the same energy during competition, or it really doesn't matter. You just like you're oblivious to everything around you either way.
It might be different for other sports. For us, just because the way it's set up, so like the mats are in the middle and then the bleachers are around us and it's an indoor venue. So first of all, there were all the teams and support staff for every country in the world was there. So we had all the judo people were there, and plus Japan was really nice. And they had a lot of volunteers that were mostly older people that had worked at some point using English so they could speak English. They were vaccinated. And so they would be at the events to help, but also to like create a small audience for us. Yeah. So, I mean, there definitely was cheering. It was definitely pretty impressive. I'm sure it would have been cooler if there was people there watching. It would have been bigger. But once you're down there, you're in the zone. You kind of tune out anything that's watching you. Yeah.
And it seems so fast too. Like when I was watching the matches, like it just seems like it goes so fast, like from like start to finish. And I was like, "That's it, that's it." And she's eliminated.
Yeah. It can happen really fast. Yeah, things go very fast in the sport. Yeah.
And I hate to bring it up, but first I want to say that the build up to your match. Man, I was following you through social media, obviously, since I had spoken to you before you left to Japan. And so I was following the whole way through. And it's so funny seeing you resharing people, like just finding you in the crowd.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, those were all my friends and family at home because they were watching on the link, to NBC, I think it was NBC app or something like that they were watching. And so everyone was all excited about it. I'm like, guys, I'm like half asleep trying to not be at my room so I don't get, fall asleep and mess up my adjusting to the time zone, and stop taking weird pictures of me. It's creepy, but it was nice that everybody was excited. Yeah.
Yeah, that was super cool because I remember watching, actually, we were recording a podcast while watching the ceremony. And we have this thing that we started in college where we do over and under with the number of athletes that the country's going to bring. So we try to guess how many athletes they're going to have, and if we're over, then we have to take a drink. And if we're under, then whoever gets the closest to that number is safe, and everybody else has to take a drink.
Okay.
So we make it a drinking game.
That is definitely far more entertaining than my experience at the opening ceremony. So I'm glad you guys had fun.
Really? It wasn't because I was going to ask you how was the opening ceremony for you?
It was really
because
hot.
I was looking for you and I was like, I could not.
So we were behind the basketball players because we wanted to be able to get in and get out because our lightest player, Angie Delgado, who fights 114, she had to weigh in the next day. And so we wanted to get her out early. So we're like, if we stand behind the basketball players, we know that they're getting extra special treatment. So we can kind of hustle in behind them. And they're really tall, so we won't get lost. So that was our logic there. So they focused a lot on the basketball players at the beginning, but we're like in the crowd right behind them. Yeah. But it was just really hot. Nice. We were in blazers and full Ralph Lauren and really painful shoes, which it looked nice, but it was hot. And we had, the NBA players were fanning themselves and wiping sweat off their faces, and everybody had their blazers off. And it was probably an hour and a half of a line waiting to go through the stadium. So we're in full winter clothes in 95 degrees and 70% humidity. And it was definitely hot. It was cool. It was a great experience. I'm glad I did it, but it was hot. Yeah.
That's crazy because you see none of that on TV. On TV, it just seems like
right.
Yeah, no. There's definitely that's like the last 10 minutes of it, but the 2 hours or 3 hours beforehand was sauna suit and waiting in line with terrible shoes. So
any makeup? Do you guys get any makeup, or is it just however sweaty you get? That's it.
You make yourself up. You do your own hair, but they try to spray set you on the way through and, fix your hair sort of. But by the time we walked through, we were drip sweating and miserable. So yeah, I'm glad they didn't get too close up on anybody because we were pretty miserable.
So you said weigh-ins. You weigh in the same way, the only thing I can reference to is the UFC where they have to almost dehydrate themselves. Do you guys do the same?
I don't do that because I fight heavyweight, which is an unlimited weight division, which is a whole other setup. That's why I fought that girl who was 100 pounds heavier than me. Every other division, except for men's heavyweight, they cut weight, they rehydrate after. So that's similar to UFC. Probably not as extreme as UFC because we do it more frequently, so we have to stay closer to the weight, and we don't have a team of professionals helping us to make the weight. But it's the same concept.
So that girl is there dehydrated and sweating more, and
we were like, you're a badass because you were miserable and you made it through that whole thing, got up the next day, cut the rest of your weight and weighed in. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that is
tough.
crazy. That's awesome. While you're there, okay, so we asked some people to send in questions. I said, if you can ask an Olympian anything, what would you ask? And so I got some questions, and so some of these are good.
Okay, all right.
Some suck.
Some of them suck. I'm gonna ask one right off the bat. This person wants to know: pineapples on pizza, yes or no?
Yes, I like pineapple pizza. Yeah,
gosh.
I do.
Dang, I told him.
Really like it.
I texted back. I told him, "What are you trying to do? Trying to get her canceled already?"
No, I love that. I'm a weirdo, but I definitely like that. Yeah,
that's good. I mean, my mom. The first time I've ever seen pineapples on pizza was my mom asked for it once, and I was like, I didn't know this was a thing. And then I was like super small, and I was like, this is at the time I was like, this is disgusting. I can't. But I think I'm not opposed. Clearly, I will eat anything, but
I will too. I'll eat anything I have to.
I was gonna say, Nina, you don't have to agree so fast.
No, I will eat anything. So I gotcha. I know how that is. You go to enough weird countries where you don't know what they're feeding you, you learn how to eat anything. So
oh, that is true. I mean, Japan is not that far off from
Japan's totally fine. But I've been to like Uzbekistan, the middle of nowhere in China, the middle of nowhere in Kazakhstan, in a tent where they've got another tent for the toilet, and I've been to some pretty interesting places.
Wow. So, that's pretty cool.
It's nice to see.
We gotta bring you back to hear those experiences.
Yeah, no, I've definitely had some cool travel experiences, even if at the time I wasn't too thrilled about them. So
you ever gotten like super sick from travel or food from somewhere?
Yeah, we've gotten food poisoning in China a few times. Russia, Eastern Europe is pretty well known for that, and China and South America too. Dominican Republic, everybody got some sort of a weird, some sort of a stomach virus. That everybody got it. And we all needed antibiotics when we got back. That was pretty gross.
Yeah.
So
have to compete.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, we were definitely not happy campers on that trip. So,
have you ever been to Mexico?
Yeah, a few times. Yeah.
Just for fun or for judo?
Only for judo. Probably five or six times. It's relatively close by for the U.S. It's pretty simple for them to set up a tournament there, and it's much like in comparison to some countries in South America, because we're all in the Pan American Confederation, so we all are in the same continental union for judo, and Mexico's a pretty stable, well-off country, compared to some little countries in South America that don't have the budget to host a tournament. So there's a lot of stuff in Mexico. Mm-hmm.
Do you have any opportunity to actually have fun when you go to these places, like between matches or something?
Good question. I've probably been to about 50 countries in the world, and I've probably had fun in about 5 or 6. So mostly you see the airport, you see the hotel, and you see the venue, like the stadium or whatever. We like Mexico's fun because at least we can go to the beach after it most of the time. But unfortunately for me, I usually fight the last day of the tournament. So I just have that evening to relax or sightsee or whatever. And to be honest, you're exhausted and your body hurts. And I usually take a shower and go to sleep. So maybe when I was younger, I had fun, but now I'm pretty much, and it's a business trip.
And are you nervous leading up to it? Because I would be nervous the whole time, just a nervous wreck, just building it in my head.
You learn how to deal with that. You have a routine. You have to train, you have to sleep, you have to eat right. And so your nerves, they come and go, but as long as you stick to your routine, that's a big part of competition. It's normal to have nerves, but you have to be able to work through them and still stick to your routine.
That's nice. This other question obviously was going to come, and I was going to ask it even if it didn't come through, but the beds, were they as bad as they were saying in the news?
Yeah. Were they really trying to prevent sex?
Honestly, I think that was really just a joke because they were pretty sturdy. I weigh probably 220 pounds and I could jump on them, throw things on them, kick them, and they did not change at all. So the issue with the beds was they were hard and uncomfortable and really, really unpleasant to sleep on. But I'm pretty sure anybody who wanted to do anything they wanted to do would be able to do it there. So
either way, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'd be fine. But they were interesting looking. I posted some pictures of them on my Instagram. So they definitely look like a cardboard box, kind of origami folded with a piece of foam on top. But I mean, it was okay. You figure you make it work.
Right. And is there I guess this year would be weird because of the whole situation with COVID, but any wildness going on? How everybody always talks about how wild athlete village
Yeah.
Does that really happen?
It does happen, but it happens on any trip. It doesn't have to be the Olympics. Like athletes have energy, and they will get up to things. I'll be honest with you though, like when we've been on trips before, like the trips where there's girls and guys and multiple trips, those tend to be a little bit less like crazy than back, I don't know, about 10 years ago. They used to send us all on these trips. Like the boys were separate from the girls, and we'd end up like in the middle of woods in Belgium, and you're bored out of your mind. There's nothing to do. And we invented sports, which involved like standing on the roof of our hut and like throwing things into the snow and like, measuring who could throw things the furthest. And, we had, lots of pretty crazy things like hanging out of windows and stuff. So like the real like insanity happened when we were like all cooped up in the middle of nowhere, not when we're actually like freely circulating as a big group. So yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah,
there's some good memories of being in the woods in Belgium waiting to compete at that tournament. So
we have 3 more like fan questions. This one is, what is a con of all the work and dedication you put into becoming an Olympian?
A con? Like a downfall?
A downfall.
Yeah.
Negative.
My body's pretty worn out. Like I've had to have a fair bit of, rehab and stem cells and different things. And I probably will have issues, later in life with my hip, my knees, like stuff like that. I take pretty good care of myself, but, I can see myself having pretty bad arthritis and maybe getting a hip replacement earlier than most because of all the judo. Yeah.
But you're sponsored by CBD, right? Is that what you said, or did I mishear?
Fight Back CBD. Fight Back CBD.
CBD.
Yeah, they're based in Austin. They're really awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. Another question: who is somebody, current or not current, an Olympian that you model yourself after, or that you look up to?
That's a really good question. I always say, anyone could be your role model, and you could be a role model for anybody. So like I don't have like the fan in me. Like I find something to appreciate in anybody. So I mean, there's a really good judo player in Portugal, Jorge Fonseca, who fights in under 100 kilograms, and I love his judo. Like he's got the most beautiful judo ever, and he's about my height and about my weight. And so like in terms of like modeling my technique, I try to do the stuff he does because he's just so talented. But I wouldn't say it would be a role model thing. It's just like I like his technique. It works for me. I'm trying to, imitate that. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful judo. What do you mean by beautiful judo? Like just smooth, like just
really just really talented. Like it works really well. It's explosive, but it also is like he wins with full point throws. So he throws people completely on their back. Whereas sometimes people seek to win just by getting penalties on the other person, kind of points, like a points game. But he has like pretty terminal judo where he puts the person away, throws them, pins them, chokes them, arm bars them. And that's the kind of judo that like you want to see on TV. It's really impressive. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice.
Last fan question. I don't even know if I want to call it a fan question. Listener question.
And then we got one last podcast question.
All right.
Go ahead, Jorge.
What other sports do you enjoy from the Olympics?
Wrestling, because I wrestled in high school and the beginning of college. I like basketball just because I remember growing up watching basketball on TV and really enjoying basketball. From the Olympics, I'd say boxing. I mean, other combat sports and basketball. Those are the things I like to watch on TV. Mm-hmm.
What about trampolining? We mentioned it.
Nah, not my thing. Not my thing. I mean, I admire the talent. You're not going to see me doing that. That's how I'm going to really need my hip replacement early. But not my thing.
I was watching it, and then my son comes in. He goes, "Look, Dad, trampoline, like in my cousin's house."
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like,
but I can't do that. I can't.
Don't let anybody do it. It's like,
And my wife walked in. She goes, are you still watching the Olympics? What is this? I was like, it's the Olympics.
It's the Olympics. Yeah.
But it's cool. I mean, I did find myself like continuously watching it, but I wasn't like it wasn't the same as like watching a different sport where I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
No. But fair enough. Hey, do what you can. Be an athlete.
Yeah, whatever.
Right? Yeah. Your tattoo. Did you get it over there in Japan or when you came back?
No, I got it when I came back. I don't know if you can see it in this light, but there you go.
Yeah, it looks good. That's cool. That's such it's such a badass thing to see when I'm like watching the thing. It's like, oh, it's like you can say like I've been there.
Well, and this is exactly where they put my stem cells, so that's why I put it there. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah. How did it feel? Like, did it hurt?
Oh no. The stem cells hurt. The tattoo didn't. No,
And it was like, was it like a feeling of like a stamp of approval or a accomplishment?
Oh yeah, no, totally. I was happy to get the tattoo. I was a little nervous because it was my first tattoo, but it was not at all painful. The only thing I would say is I was so expecting something like the stem cells, which hurt like hell, although they're magical, that I was a little nervous to go get them. But yeah.
Will you get any more tattoos now that you have one?
Well, I got another one on my shoulder, but I think I'm done after that. Yeah.
So before we ask that last Too Hard Too Fast question, there was a couple, or maybe more than a couple, of news articles coming out about you, and it said Nina Cutro-Kelly, the oldest Team USA judo, and they call it, there's something else for a female judo, right? Or is it?
No, it's judoka. Judoka is for everybody. Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was just for females. But yeah, they were like that's how they labeled it. Did that bother you at all, or was that like a hell yeah kind of thing?
No, I was happy. I mean, like, it was pretty cool. There have been people who were in there who were maybe a few months younger than me, who were close to my age, but it was kind of cool. It's kind of like, all right, I stuck it out, and I didn't compromise anything else in my life. You know, I'm a teacher. I own a house. I'm working on another master's degree right now. Like I did what there is to do. You know, I learned French fluently. So why not stick it out and try to make an Olympic team? It's not like I'm, compromising other parts of my life. So yeah.
That's true. You're the Tom Brady of the sport.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe for the US, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, Wormsers, let's do the honors.
All right. We don't want to hold you up from training, but last question. Do you have a Too Hard, Too Fast story that you don't mind sharing? Whether it be or I guess another way, like a Too Drunk to Function story, or it doesn't even have to be alcohol. Maybe something in judo then, where, man, the match just lasted 5 seconds and you're like, oh shit, that went too hard, too fast.
I have a post judo story, which is I wasn't drinking, but I have ADHD, so I take ADHD medicine, and I can't take it in competition. And so that combined with jet lag after a judo trip. So I come back from my judo trip, I'm jet lagged, I don't know what time it is, what country I'm in, if it's day or night. And then I have to go back on my ADHD meds. And so the side effect of those is that it messes with your sleep. It keeps you awake. And so I come back to the country and I get like crazy, like hyper crazy. And I can't sleep. Sometimes I don't sleep for 2 days, 3 days, something like that. But I've got to go through this to, get back to my, day-to-day adulting, etc. And so this was before the pandemic. I went to a tournament and I came back, and I also, this is an aside, but so you know about this, I practice pole fitness. It is not pole dancing, it's pole fitness. It's like upright gymnastics, okay? But you need this pole, which is a stripper pole, basically, to practice this. So I come back. Yeah. I come back from this trip, and I'm up all night, and I've been up for like 2 days. And I'm working out to try to get acclimated to the time zone, and I'm working my job, and I'm, doing my schoolwork, and I'm like, it's been like 2 days. I'm like, so you start to go crazy because, like, you've been up for all this time, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna Amazon a stripper pole, and so I went really fast. I clicked on it, but I didn't realize it was one.
Too hard, too fast.
Yeah, exactly. Too hard, too fast. I'm like, let's go, let's do this, And I click on it, and then I finally, after this, and I'm delirious from exhaustion, and I fall asleep, and I completely forget about it until I wake up the next day, and I'm looking in my Amazon, in my email, and like confirmation, and I'm like, what the hell did I do? So I'm like, because plus I'd taken like, some like melatonin and some sleeping stuff to help me go to sleep. So I think I dreamed this or imagined it. So I wake up the next morning, I was like, oh my God, like I'm not spending $300 on that. That's ridiculous. And so I messaged Amazon, like, yeah, that was an oopsie with the one-click ordering, right? And so, and they canceled it, and et cetera, no problem. So then we go into lockdown, and like a month later, this box arrives, and I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, I open it, and it's the pole. And so because it was from China, they had canceled the order, given me my money back, and still set the pole. And so I was like, all right, this is cool. It's the lockdown. I can practice, my workouts, do my pull-ups on it, practice climbing it, And so I have a stripper pole in my bedroom, which is kind of embarrassing to explain to people, because I'm like, it's really just for exercise, I swear.
and it's in the bedroom. So
yeah, well, because that's the only room with a high enough ceiling to put it in. And so it's really embarrassing, but yeah, don't be impulsive when you're jet lagged. That's my lesson about that.
I think that's a sign after judo. Yeah. After judo, that's your second career right there. What do you think?
I don't know. I have no coordination that way, but I am strong, and I can do some pretty good pull-ups and stuff on it, and gymnastics type stuff. But it is good for upper body work. But the dancing part, no, not doing that. So. It's very stable because my friend's an engineer, and she helped me install it. And then we both like hung on it and tried to knock it over.
She didn't question why.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Did she have any questions?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was like,
"Are you sure?"
Well, no, she immediately saw the picture, and she was like, "You were Amazoning at night again, weren't you?"
Oh yeah. But if you want this, why not?
Yeah, well, she was like, I guess I can do some workouts too. So we have a whole other series of bloopers where like we're falling off of it. It was fun though. It's definitely a fun thing to have. Although it's a bit embarrassing to explain to people, when they come to paint the ceiling or something, So.
Yeah, right. It's for workouts.
Yeah, it's for
my home gym.
Yeah, my home gym. Exactly.
Yeah, or just show them this episode, and that way you don't have to constantly explain it. Just tell them. Just listen to this.
Yeah, no, but the story is online. It's on the internet.
There you go. It's online. It's on YouTube.
It's on the internet, so it has to be true.
Exactly.
And with that said,
I'll put it on your Wikipedia page. I'm gonna edit your Wikipedia page and add that on. Is that okay?
That's perfect. Do it.
Okay.
Oh, technically you can. This is a publication.
It's public.
It's online.
And now I have evidence that it's true. It's verifiable. It's on YouTube.
It is for sure.
All right. With that said, Nina, thank you for coming on. This is 100% truly an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me, and I will look forward to listening in on this.
We're gonna close out real quick. Worm, closing out the podcast. What do you have to say?
You can break your back. You can break their backs. Just don't break the rules.
And with that said, dare to be you, dare to be weird. My Team USA.
USA.